A tree does not mourn its leaves when autumn arrives. It does not resist the wind that takes them. It simply stands, rooted in silence, allowing what no longer serves to fall away. And Rumi, in his quiet genius, reminds us, "Become like a tree, and let the dead leaves drop." There is no need for violence, no need for tearing, pulling, or forcing change. Life already knows what must go. And when we allow it, things fall away on their own, softly, naturally, like leaves carried by the breeze. We, however, cling. We hold on to memories, identities, relationships, beliefs, not because they nourish us now, but because we fear who we will be without them. We fear emptiness. We fear uncertainty. So we tighten our grip on the very things that stifle our growth. But what if we trusted the process of shedding? What if letting go wasn't a loss, but a necessary return? What if the things we're afraid to release are exactly what we no longer need? Just like a tree doesn't fear bare branches, we too can learn to welcome the space that loss leaves behind. Because it is in that space, that quiet, open stillness, that new life begins. To let go is not to become less. It is to become clear, to become aligned with what is real now. And in that clarity, we rediscover a strength that doesn't need to hold on. It is not weakness to release. It is wisdom. It is the quiet recognition that we are not defined by what we carry, but by the stillness at our center. So we learn to listen, not to the noise of the past, but to the soft whisper of what is asking to be released. We feel the weight we've been holding, we breathe, and we open our hands, not to reject, not to destroy, but to free ourselves, free others, free the flow of life to move once more like a tree. We do not chase spring, we do not beg for summer, we simply let the old fall away and trust that something new will come. When we look closely, we see that nature never hurries. The tree does not demand that its buds bloom faster. It doesn't try to cling to every leaf for fear of losing its beauty. It trusts the rhythm, each season bringing its own lesson, its own necessity, and so must we. There are seasons within us too, times of blossoming and times of falling apart, times of clarity and times of confusion. But underneath all these shifting layers, there is something constant, not the leaf, not the branch, but the root of being. The quiet awareness that watches it all unfold. We suffer because we forget this root. We identify with the leaves, with what comes and goes, and call it me. We say, I am this relationship, I am this success, I am this failure, I am this pain. But these are just leaves in the wind. They serve their time, and then they fall. If we try to hold on too tightly, we block the flow of what wants to move through us. Letting go is not a giving up. It is not passivity. It is an active trust, a courageous return to the now. It's saying, I don't need to carry this anymore. It served me, but now it is time to place it gently on the ground. And in doing so, we make space. Space for light to come in, for silence to speak, for the self to be known not through effort, but through stillness. The tree does not ask, who will I be without these leaves? It knows it is already whole, leaf or no leaf, bloom or no bloom. And so are we. This moment, right here, asks only that we stop clinging, that we feel the weight of what no longer resonates, and allow it to fall. We do not need to explain it. We do not need to justify it. We simply notice, this no longer fits who I am, and that is enough. No striving, no perfection, just the humility to surrender to what is true now. Like the tree, we will stand tall again. And when spring returns, and it will, we will not need to search for growth. It will emerge on its own, quietly, gracefully, rooted in the truth that we trusted the letting go. There is a quiet dignity in the tree that has let its leaves go. It doesn't grasp at the past, nor does it rush toward what's next. It simply stands, exposed, still, and utterly present. We can learn from this. We spend so much of our lives trying to hold on, to identities, to roles, to relationships, to old versions of ourselves that no longer reflect who we are becoming. We say things like, if I lose this, I'll be nothing. If I change, they won't love me. If I stop striving, I'll disappear. But the truth is, what we fear losing was never truly ours to begin with. It was borrowed, a season, a costume, a story passing through. The tree teaches us a deeper kind of strength, not the strength of force, but the strength of surrender. To stand in our own silence, to face the unknown without armor, to trust the emptiness between what was and what will be. This is the path of real growth. And in that space, something miraculous happens. We begin to see the beauty in the bare branches. We begin to feel the breath of life itself, not in the form, but in the formless awareness that watches. We realize we were never the leaves. We were never the pain. We were never the applause or the abandonment. We are what remains when all else falls away. This realization does not require effort, only sincerity, a willingness to stop escaping, to sit, like the tree, in the quiet after release. And listen. Listen to the wind moving through you. Listen to the ground beneath your feet. Listen to the silence between thoughts. That's where the truth waits, not in becoming more, but in being less burdened, less defined, less afraid. It is only from this emptiness that something new, something true, can take root. Letting go isn't the end. It is the beginning of intimacy with life, not as we imagined it, but as it is, raw, tender, ever-changing, and utterly sacred. So much of what we carry was never meant to stay. Old habits, unresolved stories, inherited fears, they cling not because they are strong, but because we have forgotten how to loosen our grip. The tree doesn't argue with the wind. It doesn't resist the season. It allows. And in allowing, it aligns with the intelligence of life itself. Can we do the same? Can we stop asking the past to explain itself? Can we stop begging the future to arrive? Can we stop performing for a world that doesn't see our truth? Letting go is not passive. It is the most courageous act of presence. It means trusting that what falls away was not meant to define us, and that what remains is infinitely enough. We do not need to understand everything. We do not need to win or impress or perfect. We simply need to be honest, to breathe, to allow. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are simply in a moment of shedding. Let the leaves fall. Let the noise fade. Let the silence hold you. And as you rest in that space, bare, unguarded, something ancient awakens. The quiet knowing that you are already whole, that nothing real can be lost, and that the tree within you was never meant to carry dead weight. So now, like the tree, you do not have to fight. You do not have to prove. You can let go. And in that letting go, you are free.